Brazil suspends beef exports to China after confirming mad cow disease cases.
Here's a summary of the article.
Brazil's government announced on Saturday the suspension of beef exports to China after confirming 2 cases of atypical mad cow disease in 2 separate domestic meat plants. The measure will remain in place until the Chinese authorities complete the evaluation of the information on the cases that has already been delivered, said a statement. According to the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock and Supply, the 2 cases were reported in the city of Belo Horizonte in the state of Minas Gerais and in Nova Cana do Norte in the state of Mato Grosso. Brazil officially notified the World Organization for Animal Health after the cases were confirmed. The last case of atypical mad cow disease in Brazil was recorded in 2019, and exports to China were also suspended temporarily at that time. These current cases are the 4th and 5th atypical mad cow disease cases recorded in the country's 23 years of surveillance of the disease. Brazil has never recorded a classic mad cow disease case, according to MAPA. Sources: Xinhua News Agency.
This post received a score of 9,400, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Prions are fucking scary.
One of my biggest fears: no cure, no treatment, 100% mortality rate, and brain basically turns to mush.
Rabies and this sound right up there with some of the worst ways to die.
At least rabies symptoms are preventable if treated early. Prions diseases on the other hand. Edit. As others have pointed out, by early treatment of rabies, I mean well before symptoms present, preferably shortly after a bite or scratch.
Not once you're showing symptoms. Rabies isn't. At that point, get your affairs in order, if you're still capable of doing that, and don't start any long books.
Some people have survived rabies according to a NPR show on it. One girl survived by putting her into a coma and let her brain fight it off. It's called the Milwaukee Protocol if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and it's worked precisely once despite being attempted 26 times. Here is the Milwaukee Protocol in full, updated 2018.
That is inaccurate, due to the article being dated. There have been 11 survivors using either the Milwaukee or Brazilian protocol.
Well shit. Good to see that back.
Yeah, me too. We can add it right next to COVID.
Would be cool if they interact and the baby mad cow disease becomes airborne.
Nightmare fuel. China's import protocol states that every mad cow case gets investigated and imposes a 30-day ban until they validate the information and the ban gets lifted. Both cases shows no evidence of contamination to other cows. They had mental diseases associated with their age and no other cows had evidence of infection. This should not impact prices or overall dealings of food, merely the timing that transactions take place. Truth be told, dealing with mad cow's disease is taken very seriously due to how much the food industry means to the country.
Honestly, a suspension on beef exports to China for a little bit might be good. Hope it drives the price down domestically because the current industry is proper fucked, and despite being the biggest producer there's nothing left for us after exports. Was at the market yesterday and eyed a kilo of contra fillet. 80 Brazilian reals. Jesus fuck.
There's a lot more that factors into that price. The price of gasoline is now at a high of 6 Brazilian reals a litre. The transportation fees are passed on to the consumer. Honestly surprised people haven't revolted against the price of gas yet when you consider that the minimum salary was raised a paltry 6 reais a month from last year.
Atypical BSE is different, and it generally occurs in older cattle, usually 8 years of age or greater. It seems to arise rarely and spontaneously in all cattle populations. Classical BSE is the form that occurred primarily in the United Kingdom, beginning in the late 1980s, and it has been linked to variant Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, VCJD, in people. Classic is from feeding cows parts of cows. That stopped in the late 80s to stop this nonsense.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.